Ladies and gentlemen, celebrating 5 years as a podcaster, introducing Nate the Great!
Hello, I am NateFNGreat, and welcome to this edition of the Game Changer Podcast. We're going to be calling this probably the horror pop culture section. I don't know, I wanted to do the horror movie pulpit, but at the same time, I felt like that was going to be a bit of a jab at Agent Cooper, and I definitely do not want that. Ladies and gentlemen, talking a little bit about horror movies, but specifically ones produced by Blumhouse. Now, Blumhouse is one of those production companies that I have a hit and miss relationship with. I mean, I just went through the entire selection of the movies that they've created, and honestly, they have a pretty decent to good track record with them. I mean, they're the ones that brought us Paranormal Activity, Insidious, The Purge, and quite a few others. I was very optimistic when they brought out The Gallows, because it kind of looked like we were going to get a newer version of a modern day Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Mike Myers, something like that. But unfortunately, they utilized the first person perspective camera a little too much, and that's one of the problems I had with that movie. And I was just so disappointed. I mean, honestly, Named Charlie is one that can definitely strike fears in the hearts, just not with this movie. Then you kind of look at some of the sequels that they had for the Paranormal Activities. It's just another one of those things where they just relied on the cameras too much. But this is also the production company that produced Truth or Dare. My God, was that movie stupid. They also gave us Ma, which gave Octavia Spencer an idea to just literally go ham sandwich on everybody, which I think was one of the best things that we ever said. I mean, literally, Agent Cooper and I, we actually talked about it, and it's honestly one of the greatest things that we've ever seen. They've also created a lot of blunders, and honestly, guys, I was not even aware of the fact that they released a Gallows 2 movie, which has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I might just watch it just for the hell of it. So, optimistic, but at the same time still a little lenient. I got the chance to watch the movie The Invisible Man. Honestly, didn't see too much in the way of this, other than the fact that it's about an invisible man who stalks a girl. Kind of seems a little bit like a lot of movies that are happening nowadays. But I went in this with Celeste, with very an open mind, giving it a chance, and to my honest surprise, I went out kind of with a smile on my face. I legit thought that this movie was pretty well done, actually. I liked the fact that it's a premise of a woman trying to get away from an ex-boyfriend who was abusive, and I will say this, they do not force anything in this movie. Thankfully, they didn't force a lesson or anything like that, because that would just be stupid. But it is kind of one of those things where it gives you a bit of questioning in this movie. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Story, again, just girl trying to run away from abusive boyfriend. Guy gets killed off, but she feels like his presence is still around, which honestly, they build that off very nicely. There's some moments where you're thinking whether or not she's just insane, and then when you see a couple things, you're like, okay, no, there is something weird that's going on here. There was a part of me that thought maybe it was going to be a situation where it's going to involve, a demon or some kind of paranormal stuff like that. But no, they actually really did something quite different with this, and they actually used a bit of technology. They kind of modernized it a little bit, which I thought was really smart. And nobody's surprised, the boyfriend's not dead. There's some people that you were not expecting to get involved in it that got involved with it. Honestly, it's something that I was just not at all, again, suspecting in the least bit. The pacing of the story is interesting because this is basically a 2-hour movie, and you have to fill that 2 hours up with just, something that's going to keep you connected with the entire thing. I think there are a couple spots in the movie I definitely did feel a disconnect. I think that the main character just really didn't always get me hooked on, but the moments that she did hook me on, they were just great. They were absolutely great. What's kind of surprising, I think it was in the first half hour of the movie, they basically threw every single cliche involved in there, where it seems like, she's going crazy, people don't believe her, and they also kind of jumbled in the fact that it looks like basically she's going insane, and she hits a friend of her daughter, I believe it was. I think it was. And it seems like she's lost everything. So now they have to fill that hour and a half with all this other crazy deals. And to be honest, they do a pretty damn good job of that, because you kind of think it's going to go in a certain direction, and then it just goes in a different direction. I really loved the fact that they decided to really be smart about this, and the way that the movie ends is that she definitely comes out as a survivor, and she also has just a bit of revenge, which in all honesty you kind of applaud, but at the same time the way that it ends, oh god, it gets really, really vindictive and very sickening, honestly. But it's one of those things where it's a horror movie in and of itself. It's definitely a different kind of horror movie. I was not expecting it. I wasn't expecting to like it. I thought, again, pacing was interesting. Characters, they're likable, so you kind of have people that you want to keep around, and then there's others that you just want to kind of have die off. There's literally like one scene. I'll even throw this in there. This movie probably had the longest streak where practically nobody died. I was surprised by that. It wasn't until we saw the first killing that I was like, okay, now here comes the big deal where it's like, yep, so this person's dead, this person's dead, yep, there we go. But again, the fact that nobody really got killed off until, I think it was maybe, I want to say it was even like 45 minutes to the first hour. They were focused on that story, which in all honesty, I applaud them for that. They did a great job for that. So overall, The Invisible Man is a movie that I really, really, really recommend at least watching once. That was just, wow. I'm still kind of amazed that I'm, really happy about this. This is one of the first horror movies that I've seen that wasn't a classic, that I wasn't thinking to myself, damn you for doing this, why you waste my time. I think the last one that kind of blew my mind away was probably Midsummer, if not Ready or Not, I would say. There was just so much good in this movie. Definitely recommend it. I give it 2 thumbs up. That was really good. Is it perfect? No, not by all means. But is it a really damn good movie that will definitely have you questioning things? Oh, yeah. It is definitely one of the things that people are going to want to look out for. Because if Blumhouse creates more movies like this, oh boy, they're on the right track. I mean, with Halloween coming out this year, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So this has been my review, ladies and gentlemen. You know where to follow me. You know how you can reach out. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Be smart. Be respectful. Remember that you can make a difference by being a game changer one day at a time. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next episode.